Welcome to Black Cat Crypto Club, everybody. My name is Drake. We have news today of the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, getting absolutely destroyed in court over cryptocurrency, guys. We've had a lot of news over the last year where the SEC has been trying to save face because they were they were connected with FTX. That went down, made them look bad, and they've overreacted and gone after everyone. But we've just seen a court ruling that just happened yesterday in Utah, and the SEC has taken its biggest hit ever. From as far as cryptocurrency cases in the last year or two, the SEC just got destroyed. But before we get to that, guys, if you have not donated, please go help these animals out at ezsrescueranch. Any little bit helps. Go over and go to their PayPal and throw them $1 or $2. Price of a coffee, maybe $3-4, really helps these animals out. So the PayPal is here at the bottom of this flyer, but I will also leave that in the description of the video. Please go over and help them out. It means a lot. Now, the SEC case that just came in, I've talked about this before on the channel, but there's a case in Salt Lake. And what happened was the SEC went after Debtbox, this cryptocurrency company in Utah, and they went to a court. They told the court that Debtbox was defrauding investors. They were moving money off shores and stealing a bunch of money from people, basically. And so the court said, yeah, you can freeze their assets. So the SEC went ahead, froze all of their assets, and completely screwed this company, to be honest. But what has been found out in this new court case is that the SEC lawyers, when they went to get that order to freeze their assets, everything that they told the court was a complete lie. They pretty much perjured themselves, and how they are still how no one has been disbarred over this is beyond me, but we just got the ruling on that case. Now, what's important is, yes, the court found out that the SEC was lying, threatened sanctions, and the SEC lawyers got down on their knees and they said, yes, what we did was wrong, but we've learned our lesson. Please don't give us sanctions. There's no need for that. Please, we know we messed up. And I said in the previous video that I did on this that I imagined they probably wouldn't get sanctions just because, it's same side. Like, it's the government, right? The judicial system, the SEC, it's all part of the same thing. So when you get government ruling against government, it seems few and far between. So I didn't expect it, but guys, we've got to go over to this. I'm going to go over to this X post. And what we have here is Paul Grewal. And Paul Grewal is the attorney for Coinbase. Now, why he is following this case is because Coinbase is in a lawsuit with the SEC also at the current moment. And so Paul is watching everything SEC and crypto related because there's probably some precedents that will be set in these other cases. But he posted this on X yesterday, and this is the ruling in that Debtbox in that debt box court case. And the ruling, he quotes the ruling here. The judge said, the commission's above discussed conduct constitutes a gross abuse of the power entrusted to it by Congress and substantially undermined the integrity of these proceedings and the judicial process. The operation of the American judicial system rests on the fundamental proposition that every party who comes before the court is bound by and adheres to the same rules. Pretty harsh. You know, basically, you screwed up, SEC. What you did completely undermined the judicial system, and you lied. Nobody can come before the court and lie. You're subject to the same rules that everybody is. So let's scroll down to this other comment. He quotes again the ruling, and it says, for the reasons explained below, the court imposes sanctions against the commission for bad faith conduct in obtaining, maintaining, and defending the TRO. The TRO is the order that froze debt box's assets, and denies the commission's motion to dismiss without prejudice to refile in accordance with the District of Utah's local rules. Okay, so quick note here. When the SEC lawyers fell on their knees and they said, please don't sanction us, please, this isn't necessary, they also asked that they didn't have this case dismissed without prejudice, which meant that the SEC could actually retry this case. And the court just said, no, you will not take this to court again. You've messed up. You've lied about the whole thing. I am not giving you the chance to retry this. So that was denied. It goes on, says the commission's above discussed conduct constitutes a gross abuse of power and entrusted to it by Congress and substantially undermined the integrity of these proceedings and the judicial process. So not only did they get sanctioned, but they can't try this case again. This is probably the most harsh ruling we have seen against the SEC in any crypto case, which says a lot. Because in Grayscale's case, when Grayscale took the SEC to court for denying their ETF application, the courts came back and said that the SEC was acting capricious and arbitrary, basically slamming them, saying, you're being unfair. Knock it off. You can't do that. So that was a tough one for the SEC to swallow. This one is not only very harshly worded, but it actually sanctions means that the SEC needs to pay for this. So there will be a monetary repayment. And one of those sanctions is that the SEC now pays Debtbox's entire lawyer fees. Their entire legal fee for this entire case is now paid for by the SEC. So really harsh ruling against the SEC. Now there's one more thing we've got to kind of go over here. We scroll down and Paul Gruel says, the worst part of it all, guess who pays the sanctions? And this is true. You, me, every U.S. taxpayer. The commission just foisted a bill onto everyone for us for the litigation misconduct. So, as great as it is to see the fact that the SEC is finally getting what they deserve when it comes to crypto. That sanction, I mean, the SEC is the government, right? So who pays the government? Where's the government going to get money to pay these sanctions? It's from us. So it's a sick joke, right? Like, they can abuse their power all they want, and at the end of the day, they're not responsible. We pay that. But hopefully the SEC is getting the point finally drilled into their head that what they're doing is wrong. And hopefully some heads roll because of this. They flat out lied to the courts. So hopefully some people lose their jobs and some consequences are felt somewhere. Because the SEC has just, like I said, ever since FTX, they got mud on their face, and Gary Gensler has just had it out for the entire cryptocurrency sector. They've gone after everyone. They've gone after Mila Kunis, the actor. She had an NFT project where she was selling people NFTs. The SEC sued her, and she settled and paid the SEC millions of dollars. The SEC's gone after Kraken. Kraken settled and paid millions of dollars, and they stopped their staking program as a result. And a lot of people just settle with the SEC because, guys, it's hard to sue the government or to fight the government in a government courthouse. It's the outcome is unsure at best and unlikely probably. So people don't, they'd rather pay the fee and not go to court and pay millions of dollars in court fees and lawyer fees to come to a decision that's really unsure and probably unlikely. So a lot of these people have been settling, and we've even seen Binance. Binance was taken to court or sued by the SEC, and Binance settled for $4 billion. Excuse me, $4 billion. And I believe it was the largest SEC settlement of all time. So Binance, admittedly, Binance was probably not fully above water and doing things that they shouldn't have been doing. So yeah, Binance settled. I think they would have fought it if there wasn't some major issues with what they were doing. But Coinbase is fighting the SEC. They're in a court case right now. I really need to do a full video just on that case because there's a lot of things that need to be covered. But that court case has a lot of implications for a lot of things in crypto, including Solana. I talk about Solana here. I am invested in Solana, but that court case that the SEC filed against Coinbase directly names Solana and like 12 or 13 other coins. And so there's some big implications for that court case. I need to go over it, but it is looking really good for Coinbase. They're actually in a motion to dismiss right now. And I listened to that. I'll let you guys know in the video that I do on this case about all of that, but it looks really good for Coinbase. And the judge in the Coinbase case was also a judge in another cryptocurrency case where the SEC tried to sue Uniswap. Now, Uniswap is a decentralized exchange. So who do you sue when it's a decentralized anything? How do you even take that to court? Well, they took the developers to court, the guys who developed this decentralized exchange, and Judge Falia, the judge that is now above or it's overseeing the Coinbase suit, the judge said, you can't hold these guys responsible for things that are happening on a decentralized exchange. It's out of their power. They're not responsible for it. So the judge knows, right? The judge that's in charge of Coinbase's suit knows what's going on. She's very familiar with cryptocurrency and knows what the SEC's been up to. So it's likely Coinbase wins that. It'd be interesting if they get the dismissal. That should be the ruling on that dismissal filing should be coming out anytime. So I will be doing a full episode on that Coinbase suit because there's a lot of ins and outs, a lot of things to go over. So make sure you guys subscribe, like, share this, and hit that bell notification as well. That will notify you guys when I am uploading these videos so you can make sure you don't miss them. And until next time, guys, make sure you're hanging on. Hang on to those coins that you've got. Don't get shaken out. Like I've said in the last video, right now we are so early in this cycle. If you sell now, you are going to regret it. So hang in there, guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye.